What is going on, guys? It's Eclipse here. Welcome back to another video, and we're back on Forza Horizon 2. We're going to be taking a look at another car that they put in recently with the Fast and Furious car pack in the game, and this is Brian's Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX, I think. So this, as you guys know, is of course from the first Fast and Furious, and this is Brian's first car. Pretty much, the film literally starts off with him in this car, and that is kind of cool that they added this into the game. It's actually a pretty memorable car. You know, the danger to manifold scene and the floorboard falls off. It's very memorable, especially for a very young, you know, kid like me. Whenever I first watched this film, it was, you know, it's a car that just remains imprinted into your brain because it's from, you know, a Fast and Furious film. And if you've become a fan of Fast and Furious ever since you were young, especially watching the very first film, you know, as like the first one that you've ever watched, especially watching it ages ago, you know, these cars sort of, you know, like stick with you, I guess. So this is kind of cool that they added this into the game, and also this is probably one of my favorite cars that they've added into this game so far. First of all, because it sounds exactly like the car in the film, like exactly. It's so cool. I feel like it has a little bit of turbo lag. This is still a front wheel drive car, so I'm gonna stop right now and I'll show you guys real quick. This is still a front wheel drive car, which is kind of cool. That is pretty cool that they left out with that. But I feel like there is a little bit of turbo lag with this car, but it just makes it just a little bit more, I guess, realistic, you can say. The lights coming on right now. But yeah, they pretty much made this like dead on with the car in the film. That is kind of cool. And I sort of wish that I could take this on somewhat, like some sort of a drag race, but there's nobody around that I could drag race this with, and actually them having like the same cars as me, because that'd be kind of interesting to try out. Because every time I go into a drag race, people just choose like the fastest car in the game just so they can win, and I've done that before online. But yeah, this is the Mitsubishi Eclipse that they've added into the game, and it's actually kind of cool. I actually do wonder if the reverse lights actually work on this thing. Down at the bottom, they do. That's so cool. I don't know why I'm so surprised that they work, but it's actually kind of cool that they do. Also, this thing doesn't handle that bad. I'm very surprised of how good this thing handles as a front wheel drive. I'll take it over to this side of the map here, which is where I usually test out most of my cars that I build. Basically just this little section here. So I start off here and I ended up finishing down over here at the tunnel. So this is pretty much where I test out all of my cars, just basically how fast they are around like corners and stuff like that. So this is actually not that bad. It handles quite well. It looks amazing. It sounds amazing, and I think it's, like I said, it's one of my favorite additions into this game, just because of like what the car is like and how it is. So yeah, let's see how this thing handles right now, because as of driving it for the past literally like 10 minutes or so, I find this car to be very good. So usually I time myself whenever I do these, but I'm not bothered doing it now. I usually start off from the speed sign here, basically where it says 40 miles an hour, 40 kilometers, I guess. It's raining, so that's not good. It's still... Oh, it does have a boost gauge. That is actually kind of cool. I didn't even realize that. I was like, I wish this thing had a boost gauge, but it does. There at the bottom left of the cluster. Okay, let's go. We have a little bit of wheel spin there in first gear, but it's all good. Now this thing only makes around 335 horsepower, I think. So it's not extremely fast. But... Whoa, okay, I'm going a little bit too fast on that one, it's fine. It's also kind of wet, so I might have to take it a little bit slower around these corners. So yeah, like I said, not a bad handling car in this game. I obviously have cars that I've specifically tuned for this part of the map, but this isn't too bad. This is definitely not too bad. Of course, it's all riced out and everything, and that's because that's how the scene was back in when did this film come out? Like 2001, I think. So back in 2001, this was basically the scene. This is how cars used to look, and honestly, it does not look that bad. There are some cars. I went back and I looked at the films like just recently, and when I looked at them, not a lot of cars are very riced out. Yes, you know, adding a body kit and doing stuff like this to your cars was a thing back then, obviously, but like, there are some cars that actually looked quite clean, even for today's standards. You know, some people obviously look at these cars and say that they, you know, they're completely riced out and stuff like that. But this is like an iconic cars from the movies, and it just, I think the body kit and everything, that's actually done quite, you know, clean on this thing. It's not like, there's definitely worse cars, okay, that I've seen, especially Eclipses. There's definitely uglier Eclipses that I've seen, either on YouTube or anywhere else, even in real life. Actually, I have seen an uglier Eclipse in real life, even here in Ireland. I ended up seeing one of these, I think. It was like my only one that I've ever seen. I was like, oh cool, there's an Eclipse, and it looked like absolute ass. But yeah, that was kind of cool to actually see one of these in real life, but because they're not really that common here in Ireland, so seeing one of these, I'm pretty sure that this was a car that was specifically made for the US, because I don't think the US actually got the Mitsubishi Evo, so this is like the Evo's little baby brother that the Japan just gave to the US. I'm pretty sure that's how this went. I'm not entirely sure. I know, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. So yeah, this is the Eclipse, and it's actually quite fun to drive. Honestly, it's not that bad of a handling car. It's not very, very fast. I'm not entirely sure how fast we can actually get this thing to go. If we end up tuning it, I'm pretty sure you can probably just engine swap it with something else. But yeah, overall, decent car. Probably the best sounding car right now. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys very much for watching today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Just taking a look at the Mitsubishi Eclipse from Fast and Furious 1. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.